Aloha, everyone, in another level living land. Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Freedom Fridays. So happy that you're here because we are in store for an amazing treat. We have an awesome special guest, and she's going to be sharing with us about the topic failing your way to six figures. So, for those of you who are ready for six figures and beyond, you're going to want to listen in and make sure you comment below as well. Before we get into it, and before I introduce her, let me let you know what is the purpose of the Freedom Friday show? The purpose of this show is to support you as an entrepreneur in achieving your success in business and life harmony, because it really is two sides of the same coin. We never want to get so busy making a living that we forget to make a life. And it is 100% possible to work smarter, stress less, strengthen your relationships, lead with much more energy, ease, and momentum. And my favorite, increasing your calm, your confidence, and your cash flow. So let's get into it. I want you to give a warm Another Level Living a welcome to our special guest today, Meg Roundell Greene. Meg, how are you today?
I'm good, thank you. So nice to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy that you're here as well. Let me let them know who you are. So therefore, and then we'll get into an awesome conversation. So, ladies and gentlemen, Meg is an experienced sales and marketing leader who is on a mission to help entrepreneurs make more money and feel better while selling and marketing. She has 20 years sales experience, most recently as a director of LinkedIn Marketing Solutions, helping global brands to find new audiences by using social media content. And she now helps founders who use effective marketing strategies and sell their services confidently and simply. So there's a power in simplicity for sure. And Meg's clients learn their unique sales and marketing blueprint so that they can show up for, and also that feels aligned with their time and their values. This increases revenue sustainably without feeling overwhelming, and her selling and coaching philosophy is based on building connection, adding value, and being authentic in your business. Oh my goodness, Meg, that is just so amazing. So amazing. We all want more of that. Yes. Yes, yes.
Yay. Yay, we do.
So tell us, why is this topic something that's so important?
So I love this topic and thank you so much for the intro. And it's so wonderful to be here and have this conversation with you because I feel very strongly about this. I think it's so important that we normalize the conversation around failure because when you start your business and when you don't know what you don't know, there is so much fear, there is so much doubt, and you're looking for the right way of doing it. So you have in your mind, like, oh, there is a right way to grow to six figures. Let me go and research what the right way is. But that closes you down to all of the stuff you need to learn. So the
Mm.
best thing, and I remember I was exactly in this spot when I started. I was like, I know I want to have a business. And then I was like, I think I can make more money at this. And it got really exciting. And I was like, what is the way that I want to do it? Maybe somebody knows information that I don't have. So I just went on this search of trying and failing at stuff. And I tried a bunch of things, and you can't avoid the failure. And if you try and avoid the failure, you stop yourself taking action. So,
Oh,
really, the way to create any result is to go and test and learn. Pick a few people that you connect with, but they don't have the answers. Just know that they don't have the answers. You have the answers. You're going to find your own way as you take action. And I just think we don't have this conversation enough about what it actually looks like to fail your way there. Don't be scared of it. It's part of the process. You're going to learn so much as you go through it that you cannot learn from another person. You just
oh my
can't.
goodness. This is so good because a lot of times we sometimes don't even take action because there's a fear of failure, right? And what one of the things that we're inviting us to is to go through those processes, learn, fail, because you're still going to learn something. Like one of our presuppositions on how successful people operate is there's no such thing as failure. There's only feedback on, okay, how do you do it? How do you want to do it differently? But that allows the evolution, you know?
Yes. And
Okay.
There is such power in choosing your mentors wisely and also knowing they're only mentors because they failed a bunch. That's why they're in the position they're in. They've just failed more and they've learned more than you. So yes, absolutely choose people that who you resonate with and who kind of like will help guide you through that. But no, it's like you were saying that two sides of the same coin, having a business but having a life. Failure is the other side of the coin of success. You cannot have one without the other. And if you try and have one without the other, you will not, you'll have neither.
Oh my goodness. That is so good. So good. Okay, so tell us what can we do about this? So now we kind of highlighted a little bit of like what that usual challenge is, but what tips or strategies or wisdom that you have that can support us in moving forward in this?
Mhm. So the first one I would say is definitely try to detach yourself and your self-worth and your thoughts about yourself from your business, because we make it so personal when someone says no or when something doesn't work or when something fails. But the only way to extract all the learning is if you can see it objectively. If you can look at something and say, oh, I wonder why that happened, instead of, see, I'm not meant to do this, or like, see, I was never meant to have a business. It's all going to go wrong. Like we make it so catastrophic in our minds, but only because we're kind of wrapping up our own thoughts about ourselves with the action, with the result of basically a result that we didn't expect. So that's the first one. It's like they're two completely separate things. There are actions that you take in your business that will create a result. You either like the result or you don't like the result. So, in that respect, it's all information. Like you said, it's all feedback, it's all information. It doesn't mean anything about you and it doesn't mean anything about your success. In fact, when you take more action and get more feedback and information, you're closer and closer and closer to your expected result. So, every failure sets you a bit closer towards the yes or the client or the money or whatever it is that you're working towards.
Oh my goodness, that's so good. So good. Any thoughts on like how like and you can even share from your perspective, what was like one of the things that we can do to kind of start that detachment process? Almost like with aloha. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, this is so interesting because it took me a while. I'm not sure that there is a simple way of doing it other than
Okay.
just reminding yourself every single day there is my personal value as a human, which is infinite and unchanging and always worthy and always deserving and beautiful. And then there's my business. And they're two separate things. Of course, they kind of intertwine together, but they're two really separate things. We can be learning how to increase our business value, but it doesn't ever change from our own personal value, our own intrinsic human value. The two are not related at all.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So good. So good. Okay, what else? What's number two? What
Okay.
else can we?
Okay, number two, don't be scared to hear no. Don't be scared to get the information. Don't be scared of feeling feelings. The only reason we do or don't take an action is because of the feeling we think we'll have. So either we have a feeling, so we stop, or we expect we'll have a feeling. We're like, oh, I don't want to feel that. That feels terrible. I'm going to be embarrassed. So, some examples that I've just had this week, actually, which I'll share with you. One of my clients was sending out a series of sales emails, and I was like, why don't you just send 10? Usually she sends two. And I was like, try and send 10. So she sent 10 sales emails, and a lady replied and said, did you realize that it comes across like you're a bit desperate? Someone replied back to
My
her.
goodness.
And I was like, how did you feel in that? She's like, do you know what? It didn't have an impact. I didn't have any emotion. We expect it to feel embarrassing. We expect humiliation. We think it's going to be the end of the world. But in fact, it's not the end of the world. It passes through your body in about 90 seconds. You might still have like the echoes of that embarrassment or that humiliation days later, but it's not the end of the world. And you're capable of feeling the feeling. If that's the worst case scenario, and the best case scenario is you make 100K, are you prepared to feel embarrassed?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I love that. Here at Another Level Living, we talk a lot about emotional intelligence, right? We can't control the things that are happening, but we can control how we respond to them, and we can be able to honor our emotions and our feelings. And in our society over here in the US, and it's probably even other places too, where we're taught to kind of like stuff down our emotions and our feelings and act like they don't exist, but then they can erupt and then we have this emotional instability. But there's a really beautiful part where we can get to this detachment, as you mentioned, and also operate in that neutrality, right? Where it's like, okay, these things are going to happen from other people. That's okay. Feel the feelings and do it anyway. Yay.
Hmm. Feel the feelings and then become more, like you were saying, more emotionally intelligent. It's like, what is the feeling? Let me slow down enough so I can pinpoint the feeling I don't want to feel right now. If you do that, when it comes to anything, any procrastination, any over actioning or overworking as well, it can be two things. You can either stop taking action or you can take a ton of action because you don't want to feel something. If you slow down enough and just check in with your gut and be like, interesting. This is what's happening on the surface. Let me check in and see what is going on. What am I trying to avoid or what don't I want to feel? You will you will get more breadth, you'll get more of that scope, you'll see more of what's happening in you and be like, oh, interesting. I'm feeling ashamed. I'm feeling embarrassed. Let me just sit with that and honor that. It will pass through. It's all okay. It's all part of the journey. It doesn't mean it's not a reason to stop. I think people feel it, it feels terrible. Then they're like, oh, stop. I must stop this thing instantly because it feels bad in my body. It's not a sign to stop. It's a sign you're doing it right.
And also it's a sign that the body wants to move through it too. Just like
Yeah.
you want to breathe through it and work through it in the mind and the heart and even your energy. But the body also wants to move through it so it can get to the next
Yeah.
level and do what it's called to do,
Yeah.
aligned with you as compared to like I feel like sometimes people are like, my mind says this, my heart says this, my gut says this. I don't even know what my energy says, but just bring it all back to end. Like it's safe for you to be you. It's safe for other people to be them. Um, it's a beautiful thing when I think we step into our queendom and kingdom,
Mm,
right?
yes. Yeah. And part of that is just knowing what is my queendom? What do I have complete like autonomy and sovereignty over, which is how I'm feeling, how I respond, what I'm in charge of, what's within my orbit of control, and then everything else is outside of that and that is none of your business. And that is beautiful.
That is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh, such good wisdom already, Meg. Do you have one more tip or strategy that you can share with us that can support us in being able to embrace this and feel our way to six figures?
Mm. Oh, I think, yes, definitely have a community where you can have these open conversations. If you're talking about this every day and you're normalizing this conversation and you're with people who aren't scared to share what's happening for them in the nitty-gritty of the real stuff, not the like everything's perfect and polished and I want to be perceived a certain way, but the real deal of how it looks and feels to run a business. If you have your tribe around you and you're in those conversations, it's so much easier. Not easier, but it feels so much better. It's more enjoyable. You get support. I think support is very important
And
in
also
whatever that looks like.
And also that realization that you're not alone.
Yeah.
Usually in those communities, in those groups, as people are sharing, it can touch on different aspects of your story or other people's story. And um, it creates, I look at it from an energy perspective. As everyone is processing and revel are and breaking free from those things that they may not want to talk about, but they talk about them, it creates breakthroughs for everyone that last beyond that call.
Yeah.
Oh, so expand
Oh,
your
I
supportive
agree.
environments. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Okay, so we want to hear from the audience. So one of the things I want you to put in the chat, there's three things. Let me just make sure that I got these right. And everyone, which one spoke most to you? The first one is detaching yourself from your business. Very big, Very powerful and very exciting. And then the second one was don't be scared to say to hear no. Right? Don't be scared feeling your feelings, right? Being able to allow those feelings to be able to flow through. And then the third was really have that community and have that tribe where you can have those conversations to the nitty gritty to be able to break free from these things. Did I hear that right?
Yeah, spot on. Perfect.
What would all when we embody these things as our amazing entrepreneur, what is possible for us as we really step in and take action and create our harmony with these things? What would that
Oh,
do?
this is the fun part, right? Because everything is possible when you're willing to feel any emotion and take any action because you've got your back, because you're like, whatever happens, I'm good with me. I can honor what I'm feeling and I'm rooted, I'm safe, and I'm stable. Everything is possible. You will
Oh,
not be scared of doing anything.
I love that. It's like the world is our oyster, is what they
Yeah.
usually say here. I don't know where the
Yeah.
oyster comes from, but we'll go with it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a funny one, isn't it? Because oysters are like kind of gross to look at.
I know. So,
Yeah.
so based on everything that you shared with us, what would be the biggest takeaway that you want to leave us with today?
I think it's this concept that forwards action always creates a different result. So even if the forwards action that you take, you're like, I think this is wrong, take it anyway. Use the information as feedback and data to learn from. What we don't want to do is make a bunch of mistakes, then keep making them because we're trapped in the cycle of not learning. That's where the distance comes into practice, because having distance from it means you can look at it objectively and say, oh, what was the lesson that I needed from this? Let me sit and extract all the wisdom I can from this and go again, because now I know I'm one step closer. So just don't be scared of taking action.
Love that. I love that. And with these steps, we're able to take more inspired, divine, aligned action as compared to actions out of fear, uncertainty, and everything like that.
Yes.
We get to be in our calm, confidence, queendom, and kingdom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead. What were you going to
No,
say?
no, go. No, I was just going to say this idea of there isn't a right or wrong. And so it's just like don't tie yourself in knots with it being right or wrong. It's like do it, feel it, evaluate. And I think you bring up a really good point. Am I taking this action from fear and scarcity, or am I taking it from expansion and joy? And if you just do a gut check anytime that you have a decision and you use that as your barometer, you'll never go wrong.
Oh my goodness. That's so true. Meg, how can we continue this journey with you? Do you have like a free gift or something that you can share with us so we can continue on with you?
Yes, I would love to share that with you. I have a mastering simple marketing workshop. So if you sign up on the link, you will get into a sequence and you'll be sent that on demand training. So you can learn how to master really simply.
So exciting. I'm looking forward to getting my free gift right after this call. Thank you so much, Meg, for blessing us with your wisdom and allowing us to be able to continue this journey with you. Everyone in Another Level Living, if you've been inspired by this message, which I know that you have, go ahead and share this out and give someone else the gift of creating freedom and failing their way to six figures. And I want to add and beyond, because we know as entrepreneurs, we are called for amazing things, and our prosperity of giving and receiving is a beautiful ebb and flow, and we deserve to do that. So make sure you share this message out. Also, share your biggest takeaway in the comments below, because we love to hear your wisdom as well. Meg, thank you so much again for blessing us with your wisdom. We're going to let this message marinate into our minds, body, and soul all weekend and beyond. And everyone in Another Level Living, have an amazing weekend, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye, everyone.
Bye.